We live in a world that's louder, faster, and more overwhelming than ever before. Every day we're bombarded with notifications, opinions, and endless streams of information. News cycles keep us anxious. Social media triggers comparison and self-doubt. And somewhere in this noise, many of us lose control over the one thing that truly matters: our mind. Most people spend their lives reacting to whatever happens around them, letting circumstances and emotions dictate how they feel and act. But more than 2,000 years ago, a group of philosophers discovered a way to live with unshakable calm, clarity, and strength, no matter what was happening externally. Their secret wasn't luck or magic. It was a practical philosophy, Stoicism. In this video, we're going to explore how Stoicism can transform your mind and your life in 2025. You'll learn the timeless Stoic principles that have guided leaders, thinkers, and warriors through history, and discover how to apply them to your modern daily life. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap to reshape your mindset, eliminate negativity, and build the kind of inner strength that can't be shaken by external chaos. This isn't about suppressing emotions or living like a monk. Stoicism teaches you how to understand your emotions, master your reactions, and focus on what truly matters. Whether you're stuck in negative thought loops, overwhelmed by daily pressures, or simply searching for a stronger sense of purpose, this journey will give you the mental tools to recreate yourself from the inside out. So, if you're ready to take control of your mind and step into 2025 with clarity, focus, and strength, let's begin. Your transformation starts now. Section 1. What is Stoicism? Before we explore how Stoicism can transform your life, it's important to truly understand what Stoicism is and what it isn't. Today, when many people hear the word Stoic, they imagine someone cold, emotionless, or detached from the world. But that's a misunderstanding. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending not to care. It's about understanding your emotions, mastering them, and responding to life with wisdom and clarity rather than impulse and panic. Stoicism is an ancient Greek philosophy founded around 300 BC by a man named Zeno of Citium. After losing everything in a shipwreck, Zeno wandered into a bookstore in Athens, where he came across writings about Socrates. Inspired by these ideas, he began teaching a new way of living, one that emphasized logic, self-discipline, and living in harmony with nature. Zeno's teachings grew and evolved through generations. Over time, some of history's greatest thinkers embraced and expanded this philosophy. Among them were Seneca the Younger, a Roman statesman and writer known for his powerful letters on life and virtue; Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic teachers; and Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king and Roman emperor, whose private journal, Meditations, remains one of the most profound works on self-mastery ever written. At its heart, Stoicism is built on a simple but life-changing insight. We can't control what happens around us, but we can control how we respond to it. This is often called the dichotomy of control. The Stoics taught that some things are within our control, our thoughts, choices, attitudes, and actions, while other things are not, like other people's opinions, external events, or outcomes. When we focus our energy on what we can control, we find inner stability. But when we try to control the uncontrollable, we create frustration, anxiety, and suffering. Another central Stoic idea is to live in harmony with nature. By nature, they didn't just mean the natural world, they meant the rational order of the universe. According to the Stoics, living a good life means living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the four cardinal virtues. These virtues serve as timeless guiding principles for decision-making, behavior, and personal growth. Equally important is the Stoic perspective on perception. Epictetus famously said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about things." This means that external events don't inherently have emotional power over us. Instead, it's how we interpret those events that determines our emotional response. If we can change the way we perceive challenges, we can transform the way we experience them. While these principles were developed in ancient Greece and Rome, they're remarkably relevant today. perhaps even more so. In the modern world, we face constant information overload, economic uncertainty, political tension, and social comparison on a scale the Stoics could never have imagined. Our attention is pulled in every direction. News headlines and social media algorithms thrive on negativity, triggering emotional reactions and anxiety. Stoicism gives us a mental framework to navigate this chaos. It reminds us to stop wasting energy on things outside our control, to focus on personal responsibility, and to cultivate inner strength in the face of uncertainty. Imagine being able to remain calm when others panic, to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, and to stay grounded even when life feels unstable. That's the Stoic mindset, and it's just as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It's not abstract theory for scholars, it's a way of life. You don't need to live in ancient Rome to apply Stoic principles. You can practice them while scrolling through social media, dealing with workplace stress, navigating relationships, or working toward personal goals. Understanding Stoicism is the foundation of transformation. Once you grasp these principles, you can begin to apply them to reshape your thoughts, control your reactions, and live with purpose in 2025 and beyond. Section 2. The Mind. Transformation, Stoic Principles Rewritten. The real power of Stoicism begins when its ideas stop being abstract concepts and start becoming part of how you think, act, and respond every day. It's not about collecting quotes or sounding wise, it's about rewiring your mental habits so that you no longer live on autopilot, reacting to every event as if you're powerless. Stoicism teaches that your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and how you use it determines the quality of your life. Most people go through their days as if controlled by whatever happens around them. If a colleague says something rude, they carry that emotion for hours. If plans change suddenly, frustration takes over. If someone criticizes them online, their entire mood shifts. Stoicism offers a different way of living. At the center of this philosophy is the idea of distinguishing between what's within your control and what isn't. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, and it can fundamentally transform how you experience life. Your thoughts, attitudes, choices, and actions are fully in your control, but external events, other people's behavior, and outcomes are not. When you stop wasting energy on things you can't influence and instead focus on your own response, you become mentally unshakable. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can't move the cars or change the situation, but you can choose whether to get angry or stay calm. That single shift builds resilience because you stop letting external forces dictate your internal state. The Stoics also practiced something called negative visualization. Rather than living in denial about life's uncertainties, they would mentally prepare themselves for possible challenges. They would imagine losing possessions, facing obstacles, or dealing with setbacks, not to invite misfortune, but to build emotional strength. By rehearsing difficulties in their mind, they became less vulnerable to surprise and disappointment. If your phone breaks, if a plan fails, if someone lets you down, your response is calm because you've already accepted that these things can happen. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly of the impermanence of everything, not to be pessimistic, but to stay grounded in reality and to appreciate the present moment more deeply. Another transformative principle is amor fati, the love of fate. Stoicism doesn't just teach acceptance, it encourages you to embrace whatever happens as fuel for growth. When life throws challenges your way, you can either resist and suffer, or you can use them as opportunities to strengthen your character. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "How can I grow through this?" Epictetus, born into slavery, didn't view his situation as pure tragedy. He used it to develop his inner philosophy and show that even in the harshest conditions, you have control over your attitude. Living with virtue is another cornerstone of Stoic thought. The Stoics believed that the good life isn't achieved through wealth, status, or pleasure, but through living in alignment with four timeless virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom allows you to see the world clearly and make sound decisions. Courage gives you the strength to face difficulties head-on. Justice ensures that your actions are fair and contribute positively to others. Temperance helps you stay disciplined and balanced, avoiding extremes. In modern life, this means choosing principle over impulse, staying honest when no one is watching, being kind even when it's hard, and holding yourself to a higher standard of character. These principles work because they shift your entire mental framework. Most people operate in reaction mode, constantly pushed around by circumstances. Stoicism teaches you to flip that dynamic. Instead of being controlled by the world, you take control of how you respond to it. When you focus only on what's truly yours to influence, visualize challenges before they happen, embrace life's events instead of resisting them, and live by unshakable virtues, your mind becomes centered, calm, and strong. Life won't stop being unpredictable, but your relationship to it will completely change. That's where real transformation begins. Section 3. Practical Stoic Exercises for 2025, rewritten. Stoicism isn't meant to remain as theory, it's a practice. The ancient Stoics treated philosophy like mental training, just as athletes train their bodies. In the modern world, where distractions are endless and challenges often arrive without warning, applying Stoic exercises is the bridge between understanding and transformation. Through daily practice, your mind learns to stay grounded, composed, and focused even when everything around you feels chaotic. Each morning offers an opportunity to set the tone for the day ahead. Instead of starting your day by diving into notifications, emails, or endless scrolling, Stoics recommend beginning with reflection. Take a few quiet moments when you wake up to prepare your mind. Think about the day ahead, the responsibilities you'll face, the people you'll encounter, and the challenges that might arise. Visualize how you want to respond, calmly, wisely, and with strength. Marcus Aurelius did this each morning, reminding himself of the unpredictable nature of life and mentally preparing to act with patience and virtue. By starting your day with intention, you shift from reacting to everything around you to consciously directing your actions. Just as the morning sets the stage, the evening provides a moment to learn. Before sleep, take a few minutes to review your day. Replay the events in your mind and reflect on how you responded to situations. Ask yourself whether you focused on what was within your control, whether you acted in line with your values, and where you could have done better. Seneca used this practice to refine his character, not to criticize himself harshly, but to grow a little each day. This nightly reflection turns each day into a lesson, gradually shaping your mindset. Another powerful practice is negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Spend a few moments imagining potential setbacks, not to invite them, but to build emotional preparedness. Think about plans changing, delays happening, or unexpected challenges appearing. Picture yourself facing them with calmness and strength. This simple mental exercise reduces the shock when difficulties arise and helps you respond with clarity instead of panic. The Stoics also trained themselves through voluntary discomfort. In a world where convenience is everywhere, intentionally stepping into small discomforts can strengthen your character. Seneca would sleep on hard surfaces or wear simple clothes to remind himself he could handle hardship. In modern life, this might mean taking a cold shower, walking instead of driving, fasting for a short period, or going without certain luxuries. The goal isn't to punish yourself, but to remind your mind that comfort isn't a necessity for peace. This builds resilience and gratitude. One of the biggest modern challenges is controlling your attention. In 2025, our devices constantly fight for our focus. Notifications, endless feeds, and digital noise can scatter your mind. Practicing a kind of digital stoicism means becoming intentional about where your attention goes. Turn off unnecessary alerts, schedule times to check apps, and pause before scrolling aimlessly. Ask yourself whether what you're about to give your attention to is truly within your control and aligned with your goals. By doing this, you reclaim mental clarity in a world that thrives on distraction. Journaling is another timeless Stoic exercise. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations was essentially his private journal, where he reminded himself of Stoic truths and reflected on his behavior. Writing regularly helps you observe your thoughts, correct your impulses, and reinforce Stoic principles. You can use a notebook, an app, or even voice memos. What matters is that you consistently reflect and remind yourself of the kind of person you want to be. Finally, Stoicism teaches the power of mindful observation. Thoughts and emotions don't have to control you. You can observe them, detach from them, and choose your response. When you feel overwhelmed, pause. Take a deep breath and imagine your thoughts like passing clouds. You decide which ones deserve your attention. This small act of mindfulness aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy, bringing you back to the present moment and giving you control over your inner state. These exercises may seem simple, but their power lies in repetition. Over time, daily Stoic practice strengthens your mental resilience, sharpens your focus, and grounds you in a way that external chaos cannot shake. Just as physical training transforms the body, Stoic training transforms the mind, preparing you to face modern life with unshakable clarity and strength. Section 4. Applying Stoicism to modern challenges. The beauty of Stoicism is that it isn't locked in ancient history. Even though the Stoics lived in a world without smartphones, social media, global news cycles, or endless notifications, the mental tools they developed are perfectly suited for the complexities of modern life. If anything, Stoicism might be more relevant now than ever. The pace of life in 2025 is fast, unpredictable, and filled with pressure. People are constantly pulled in different directions, reacting to external triggers and struggling to find clarity. Applying Stoic principles to these modern challenges allows you to stay centered while the world around you spins. One of the biggest modern challenges is the constant flow of information. Every day, you're exposed to more news, opinions, and content than people in the past encountered in months or even years. This constant exposure often leads to anxiety, outrage, or emotional exhaustion. The Stoic approach is to recognize that most of this information is outside your control. You can't control the economy, political events, celebrity scandals, or distant crises. What you can control is your reaction. Instead of allowing every headline to shape your mood, you can choose to stay informed without becoming consumed. You can limit how much time you spend on news, focus on sources that align with truth and reason, and remind yourself that your primary duty is to live well, act justly, and control your own mind. Another major challenge is the pressure of comparison. Social media has created a world where people constantly measure themselves against others. You see curated versions of other people's lives, their achievements, vacations, possessions, and unconsciously begin to compare your life to theirs. This creates feelings of inadequacy, envy, or restlessness. The Stoics would remind you that the opinions and actions of others are not within your control. What matters is your own character, your own progress, and the virtues you live by. Marcus Aurelius often wrote that we shouldn't waste time worrying about the lives of others, but instead focus on becoming the best version of ourselves. By shifting attention inward, you reclaim your self-worth and stop letting external appearances dictate your emotions. Workplace stress is another modern battlefield where Stoicism can be a game changer. Tight deadlines, difficult colleagues, unpredictable markets, and personal ambitions can create constant pressure. The Stoic response is to focus on what's in your control, your effort, your attitude, and the quality of your work. Instead of obsessing over promotions, recognition, or outcomes that depend on others, you anchor yourself in the present moment and give your best. You act with integrity, patience, and resilience, knowing that external results will follow their natural course. This mindset frees you from unnecessary anxiety and helps you maintain emotional stability even in high-pressure environments. Relationships too can benefit from Stoic wisdom. Whether it's family, friends, or romantic partners, conflicts and misunderstandings are inevitable. Stoicism teaches you to see others with empathy and realism. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that he would meet people who were selfish, ignorant, or ungrateful, not to judge them harshly, but to prepare himself to respond with patience. People act according to their understanding and their nature, and their behavior is ultimately outside your control. What is within your control is your response, whether you choose to escalate conflicts or bring calm, whether you react with anger or with understanding. This perspective softens your emotional reactions and leads to healthier, more stable relationships. Even personal setbacks, failures, or unexpected life changes can be transformed through Stoicism. Losing a job, facing rejection, or going through a breakup can feel devastating, but Stoicism encourages you to see these moments as opportunities for growth. You may not have chosen these events, but you can choose how to use them. You can reflect, adapt, and build strength rather than allowing them to break you. Amor fati, yet the love of fate, reminds you to embrace even the hard parts of your journey, trusting that they are part of your development. Ultimately, applying Stoicism to modern challenges is about shifting your attention away from things you can't control and placing it firmly on your own mindset, actions, and values. Whether it's dealing with information overload, social comparison, workplace stress, relationship struggles, or unexpected life events, Stoicism gives you the mental clarity to respond wisely instead of impulsively. In a noisy and unpredictable world, it becomes your inner compass. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this journey, it's important to remember that Stoicism is not a quick fix, a trend, or a motivational slogan. It's a way of life, a disciplined, daily practice that gradually transforms the way you think and act. The Stoics lived centuries ago, yet their wisdom speaks directly to the struggles we face today. They understood something timeless. You can't control the external world, but you can always control your inner world. That's where true power lies. When you focus on what's within your control, prepare your mind for challenges, embrace the events of life with acceptance, live according to virtue, and consistently practice Stoic exercises, you begin to notice subtle but profound changes. You react less impulsively, you stay calm in situations that once triggered stress, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You start to build a quiet strength, a strength that doesn't depend on circumstances but on the stability of your own character. In a world filled with noise, negativity, and endless distractions, Stoicism offers a clear path back to yourself. It reminds you that your peace is not found in controlling the world, but in mastering your response to it. Whether you're facing personal struggles, professional pressure, or global uncertainty, Stoic philosophy gives you the tools to navigate it all with resilience and clarity. The transformation isn't instant, but with consistent practice, it's inevitable. So as you move forward into 2025 and beyond, remember that your greatest asset is your mind. Train it, protect it, and guide it with wisdom. Apply these Stoic principles, not just when things are calm, but especially when life becomes difficult. That's when their true power emerges. Transformation begins the moment you stop reacting to life and start responding with clarity, purpose, and strength. That's the essence of Stoicism, and it's the key to transforming not just your mind, but your entire life.